Hey, good evening from Vietnam, Mickey. Thanks a lot for spending your early morning joining our show, knowing that you still recover from COVID-19. I'm so sorry that first you wake up early, second still joining the show, while you're not yet fully 100% recovered. So it's very generous of you. Thank you very much. Sip more coffee, please.
Yes. Cheers.
Yeah, cheers. My friend, you and your family haven't been to Vietnam yet, right? So your friends been to the nearest country is Singapore. So the next time if you travel to this part of the world, you have a new friend, new family. So welcome to
All
come.
right.
All right, but we will test your COVID before you get it. Give us a hug, okay?
Hey, I'm immune now. 17 times more immune than the average person.
No, just kidding. Get well soon, my friend. All right.
Hey, feeling good today.
All right. All
And
right.
now that I'm on your show, I'm feeling great.
Wonderful. Thanks. Hey, in our culture, Mickey, to prepare for you when you get here, it's a great honor for our audience if we can have you to introduce a little bit about who you are and the works that you do. Can you do that for us, please?
Yeah. So, started a company with my son Joel called GreatBiz Media, and it came out of I have another company that is a recumbent tricycle shop, kind of cool business. And he was working in my marketing department, and my son during COVID was before he worked for me, he was working in Hollywood, and he was working with Netflix and HBO, and he was doing uh, editing, and he was doing set design. He was working all over Hollywood, so he was in the you know the mix of it all. His name is on a bunch of credits and such. But when COVID happened, it got shut down. Hollywood was dead. So he came home, and he's all Dad, I'll work for you. And then he started working for my marketing department, and he's all, Dad, I just really I want to get back into video, but I don't think Hollywood's going to be opening up for a couple of years. And I'm all, well, why don't you do my videos? Because I have a YouTube channel that it's a small niche channel, uh, but it creates a 8-figure business for me. And so people go like, how can a small channel create, 8 figures of revenue, for you? And because it's only about 6,000 people that are subscribers for that channel, but they're highly engaged. And that's the thing, is a lot of people like building community on LinkedIn and stuff. The key thing is engagement. So I see people, like I saw yours, you have like 20,000 followers, and you're engaged with those followers. And when I see other people that have like 10, 15, 20,000 subscribers or followers, and they're not engaging with them. And it's about connecting. And when you invited me to come on your show, I'm all, yeah, Vietnam, hey, I'll go and hang out with Ha on his podcast, because this world has shrunk down to a smaller world.
Uh-huh.
And it's about engaging with different people. And so my channel was about engaging with people through video. And my son said, hey, Dad, you do a pretty good job, but let me make it better for you. And so he did. He came in, and he used his ability for screenwriting, editing, for really telling a story. And we talked a few minutes ago before the show came on about life is about telling stories, and we've been doing it for thousands of years, right? Sitting around and telling stories. Well, we don't sit around a fire anymore telling stories. Well, maybe a campfire, but we're not chanting and telling our stories in like 1,000 years ago, but we're telling stories now through media, social media. We're telling it on Facebook, we're telling it on LinkedIn, we're telling it on YouTube, and we're telling it everywhere. And the most engaging story is the most engaging way to do it, a story, is through video. Because video, we get to be expressive, right? You see you get to know the person a little bit more because you can see how they act. Like, I'm kind of a goofy guy. Like even in the morning, I'm still like kind of getting going, and you're all like, this guy's a character. And we all are characters. Some are a little more calm. Some are a little bit more expressive. And but people can get to know you better through video because it shows a little bit more of who you are, a little bit more than just words on a page, like a blog, right? A blog is good, but it doesn't bring out that emotion that you can see in somebody's face and their body language. And so that's what video really does for somebody. And you don't need a big following to use video, right? You don't need 20,000 followers. You don't need 100,000 YouTube subscribers. You just can have a smaller group of people that want to get to know you better, like you, and trust you. Yeah. And you can develop that through video in a better way. And so I'm able to take smaller groups and take people that are experts in their field. Maybe they're business coaches, maybe they're life coaches, maybe they're consultants or experts of some sort, and say, hey, we can take your audience and then we can have you start doing video, and they're going to connect quicker with you and more often because you're building a relationship with them where they get to know, like, and trust you better. And so that's what we do, is we train people in all over the world on how to do video, and we do it through a couple different ways. And if you want to know more about that, I can tell you.
Absolutely, I would love to know more about that.
Yeah. So when I started work with my son, he's much younger than me. He's my youngest of three, and but he's a good-looking young man, and he's his skill set really is what he's passionate about. He loves just creating. He's a creative type. He's a musician. He loves doing video. His fiance is a photographer, so he just loves being around creative people. And I'm a pretty much just down to earth, like, hey, this is what we're gonna do, straightforward. And I'm not as creative. I'm just like, let's just do something, anything. And he's all, well, let me take what your regular abilities are, Dad, and let's go ahead and put that out in a way that people can connect with that at a deeper level. And so we started doing videos, he upped my level, upped my game. And then while he's working for me, I said, hey, how do we get what you know about video, what I know about marketing, and how do we get this out to the world so that they can, that Ha can go ahead and create videos for everything that he does. How can we get individual that is starting to coach people and has a small following but wants to make that following more engaged and then actually get more business through it, right? And so we created a course, and we're actually launching that course in January, and it's a course where you get to watch videos about how to create your brand, create videos for that brand, and then how to get those out into the marketplace so people will want to come find you. It attracts people versus just pushing the message out to them. It pulls them in. Wow. And so that's our main product. We also do a launch product, which helps people that go, hey, I watch your videos and that's great, but I want more one-on-one help. And that's we offer like a 60-day launch product where people can come and get personal help from Joel and I to grow their brand and to do video using that. And but the cool thing about our video course is each week you get to come in and get live coaching from Joel and I. So you actually get, so every week we're going over people's videos and we're going, okay, so this is your 2-minute video that you created through the course. here's how you can make it better. Here's how you can make it more engaging. Here's how you can script it a little cleaner. And here's what you're missing in it that will actually build that know, like, and trust.
Wow.
And so, yeah, it's pretty cool what we're doing. What other questions do you have on that one?
See, Mickey, how beautiful that son and father is doing business together and mix the strength of one another onto something that can be marketable, that can help people to find, to deliver something good for the people, right? I find it so fascinating. How do you feel working with your son after all?
Yeah, and so a lot of people are intrigued that a father and son can work together because, father and sons can get on each other's nerves. Right? We can always argue and stuff, but at the very get-go, we had this conversation because he's worked for me since he was 13 years old. So he's worked for my other company on and off, like after school. And, when he came home from college, he'd work for me. And it's not easy working for your dad, because your dad, it's your dad and it's also your boss. But I said, hey, we're going to do this together as partners, and we're going to communicate in this way. And I've been coaching coaches for years, right, on how to grow their business. So I have a lot of good coaching strategies. And I said, okay, it's all about communication. So let's set some ground rules for communication. And so when we're working as partners. After we're done, we're dad and we're son, right? And so if you want to build that father and son work relationship, you have to set a set of ground rules at the beginning. Yeah. If you don't, you're going to have problems, and you're going to also have some challenges because not all younger kids have the maturity to know. So luckily, I've been training my son since he was young on how to have a good mindset, right? And I would say, don't go into business with your child if they're not willing to work on their mind first. So there's 3 strategies in business that I say are necessary. It's your inner strategy with all your thoughts, your beliefs, right? Your mindset. It's your outer strategy, which is the strategies that you work on your marketing, your business acumen, right? And then there's your third strategy, which is action. So you got your mindset strategy, you got your
action,
you have your outer strategy. So we call it inner strategy, outer strategy, and the action. And but the most important one is your inner strategy, because it's everything that drives your outer strategy and your actions. And so if my son wasn't willing to always be focused on making his inner strategy strong, I don't think a father-son relationship would work, because there's not enough maturity to when kids are young, right, in their teens and 20s, there's not enough maturity to gauge whether or not what they're thinking is true. True. And so like you see books behind me, I'm always like reading books through audio tapes, and we call them audio tapes, but Audible when I'm driving and stuff. And I've been doing that since I was a teenager, and so I've trained him to do the same thing. And it's hard to say, here's what I want you to do, and then have your child to always do what the parent does. And in a business relationship, right, there's kind of like that, oh, you're my dad, you're just telling me this because you're my dad. Well, the thing is, what I learned is I put him through trainings. Like if I know something and I want him to know it, I will put him through a training on the thing I want him to know versus me telling him how it is, right? Because he probably won't listen to me anyway. So,
in
and,
our culture, that they always say in our culture say that the son will believe the teacher from outside rather than believe the masters in house.
yeah. And so, and so that's it's kind of like, and there's a lot of times when that's difficult. Like in a marriage, it can be difficult in all different types of relationships.
Yep.
And so like when I'm working with people in my other company and I'm leading them, I'm being a leader, the best way to lead them is through being an example of what you want done. And so my thing is always work harder than them, showing them, hey, this is what I want done. Because if you just tell somebody I want this done from a authority type figurehead, that's kind of it can be like forceful versus loving. And I think I saw you did an article on what is best, great, and human, right?
Yeah.
And humanity, right? And so we have to have that humanity, right? That human touch.
Yep.
When we're working with people and communicating with people versus just saying, hey, I want you to be better, right? You need to do better. And it's like, hey, no, like what's going on? How can I help you be better? Right? How can I help you do better? And so that's what, when you're working with your relative, right? In this case, my son, it's like, okay, how can I help you understand this better without me just saying, go ahead and do this. You have to do this or else, right? No, it's all, I'm going to send you through a training and have somebody else tell you that. And then you're going to learn.
Yeah.
And so, so it's hard to, like in video, a lot of people that want to get into video, it's hard for them to get into video because they'll watch a YouTube channel saying, you do this, right? And then they're all, yeah, it just seems too hard. And so we mixed in our training, here's what you do. And then we do this live coaching every week to where we're all, okay, now let's get down to the humanity of things of like, okay, you did this. Well, what's stopping you from, improving it, or what's stopping you in general? And like, we have fears of, I don't look good. I don't sound good. I don't know what I'm saying. It's like all these fears around like why people don't take action. And so we overcome that because these are all real, right? Remember, it starts with your inner strategy in your head. That's where everything starts. And then we go to the outer strategy, which is tactics and marketing and branding and all that stuff, which that's just all systematic. If you follow the rules, right, and the system, you'll develop a good brand and you'll develop good marketing and all that stuff. The outer strategies is not difficult. It's the inner strategies that people have a hard time with.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
Mickey, let's travel time together, all right? Because you have a beautiful story, father and son working together on the field that each of you is really, really good at. Now let's figure out how your dream was when you were young. So let's travel time. The young version of Mickey when you were really, really young. What was your dream about your future, though?
Yeah, so it's actually, I did my dream, believe it or not. So my dream was to own a bicycle shop. Yeah, that was my dream, and I did. In my 20s, I owned 3 bicycle shops, and then I went into finance, and then I owned a large finance company, and I ran the sales and marketing in my finance company. And then after we talked about the crash of 2009, 10, right? after the crash, I closed my finance company, and I'm sitting around my house with my wife and my sister and brother-in-law, and we're all drinking wine. We're having a delicious bottle of wine, lamenting about our situation, about the economy and stuff like that. And I said, yeah, I want to start riding my bike again, but they hurt. And so I got into three-wheel recumbent trikes, and my wife said, you should open up another bike shop. And so I had just enough wine to say yes, and so I opened up another one, and it became like top in the country for what it was, and it still is the top. And but so I accomplished my dream. My dream was like, I loved cycling when I was a kid. I love just the freedom just to be able to go where you want on your bike. And luckily my parents said, hey, you could ride as far as you want as long as you get home before dark. And so yeah, that was my dream. And I accomplished my dream, and I made my dream a financial thriving business for myself. Beautiful. That is successful.
Beautiful. And Mickey, you can love riding a bicycle. You can love the feeling of the winds and the air, and the breeze in your face when you ride bicycle. But then from there into owning the whole bicycle shop, for the little boy to think about that is something is really, really big. So why did you think, like, just instead of owning a couple of bikes, now you own a whole store?
Yeah. So, well, that was like back in the 70s. This was a long time ago for a lot of people. Back in the 70s, bicycling was huge. We had like the Tour de France was just now starting to become popular in the U.S. And we had Greg LeMond, which was from the U.S. He was a rider from the U.S. that actually won the Tour de France. And so he inspired a lot of young guys to want to get out and to ride. And so there's always like these heroes that are in our lives that kind of inspire us to do something. And so, and a lot of those guys back, when you see like, oh, this is freedom. I wanted to be able to help other people get freedom. So like the slogan for my company, Laid Back Cycles, is the freedom to ride. Freedom to ride, right? And so I wanted to share that freedom with everybody else. It's like with GreatBiz Media, our slogan is we develop niche superstars. So it's like we just want to take people in the niche and make them superstars, right? Like in their little niche, not superstars worldwide. They don't need to be Tony Robbins or Elon Musk or anything. They don't need to be the name that everybody knows. They just need to be known by people that are in their niche. And so in the bike world, I just wanted to be known in the bike world. I just want to be known as the guy. Like, it's funny. All my friends in high school knew me as the bike guy because I would be riding my bike every day for 60 miles a day. I just ride it everywhere. And so they knew that that's what I loved. And like, there's always somebody, everybody has something they love. It could be the person you saw reading a book under a tree, right? They're the book person. They're always reading, right? And there's something that drives each of us that people can see from the outside, right? It's something. It's the person, like my grandson. He's great at baseball, right? He could kick him. He's great at baseball, soccer, every sport there is. He's only 3 years old. He's a natural at it. Now his brother, not as good, right? not very good. But his brother's super smart. And so there's like these inherent traits that each one of us have that kind of shine, and they start shining when we're very young, right? And mine was like freedom. And I think I wanted to be free to ride wherever I wanted, just to go wherever I wanted. And I think that's why I became an entrepreneur, is because I didn't want people telling me, like, hey, you have to do it this way. And I had to walk in, I'm wearing a tie, and, and I'm all, no, I want to do it the way I want to do it. I want to be in control of my destiny, of my life, and my freedom. And I think that's, I think it has to be a very worldwide thing, but, it's definitely a very American thing that, don't tell me what to do. I'm going to do it my way, and it's definitely a very entrepreneurial idea of, like, I have an idea and I want to do it, and it's usually something that we're passionate about that like makes us want to tell other people, right? So a bike shop is just telling a lot of other people, like, hey, I love this. Do you want to come in and be part of my group, right? Do you love it too? And sharing it. And it's like when you invited me on the podcast, I'm all, hey, I like to talk. And so I could talk all day, but about things I'm passionate about. I'm passionate about business. I'm passionate about doing branding and video. I'm passionate about cycling. There's all different things I'm passionate about. And you were saying that, at first you're all, I don't know how many people will do a podcast. But when you ask people to talk about what they're passionate about, you find out that a lot of people will come on and just want to talk about what they love. And they'll do a good job on it.
And you see, from the passion, doing what you love, you can transform that onto a business and let the people also enjoy, nurturing that love inside of them, because what works for you might work for them also. How did you do that, Mickey?
How did I do what I love and make it into a business? Or
yes, and then transfer that love from inside of you to the people, so that they follow your business and they engage with you.
So I think it's and I learned this as I got older. So I didn't know this in my teens, my 20s, and I started to barely learn it in my 30s. And so it's be yourself. Don't worry what other people think. And because a lot when you're just starting out, like you start your career, you're worried about what your boss thinks. You're worried about will you get that promotion. You're worried about, like, will your customers want to interact with you? Will your customers like you? You're always worried. And there's these fears and thoughts that are always going in your head. And it's not until I got older and I got some coaching around it, is to stop it. To stop worrying about what everybody thinks and just be who you are. And the more you can be who you are, the more you can let your natural ability to love others just go out, because you're not putting these walls up, trying to be a certain way, trying to be something for somebody else versus be it for yourself. So like if Ha said, okay, Mickey, I want you to come on this podcast and I want you to be this way, right? I'd be like, no, I'm going to be just me, and you got to accept me for who I am, right? I want to express myself the way I want to express. Now, before, like, you talked to me about 25 years ago, and I'd probably go, okay, what would you like me to say? What do you think the people want to hear on your channel? And then I would come on and I'd say, hello, I am Mickey, And so you got to get rid of that fear, and the sooner you get rid of it, the happier you'll be, right? And then you'll be able to share that. When you're happy, it's easier to share that happiness with others. And we talk about the word joy, Joy. We talk about how joy is difficult because it's something that you can have during struggles. It's something that you can have when, during COVID, during, when somebody's far away, it's like, how do you have joy in struggle? And joy is a choice that we choose to have gratitude and love for other people and for ourselves, right? So we choose to be grateful. We choose to feel love for other people, for ourselves, and no matter what's going on, because life is not easy.
Yeah.
Life can suck sometimes. It can be really difficult. And so, but we have to repeat gratitude thoughts and sayings to ourselves daily so that we're in a joyful state, right? And then when we're in a joyful state, it's easier to share that joy and that love with other people, because they're all, oh yeah, that guy's not in a perfect world, or that girl's not in a perfect world, but they're joyful. They still are grateful and sharing love with others. And it's been a hard last couple of years for everybody. Your daughter was in the States, and that's difficult when somebody's far away that you love so much, and then you just want to hold them. And but you luckily we have technology, right? And we can see each other. We didn't have that, go back, 10, 15 years ago. Then what we have today is so amazing.
I know.
And so, and that's why I love doing videos, because it takes this amazing thing we have, and then it allows us to connect at a deeper level. Like when I was growing up, like to have a camera and to be taking pictures all the time, that you were in upper middle class, or you had a decent amount of money, because to develop the film costs a lot of money to develop the film. And so I was in a middle class family, so we didn't take a lot of pictures. So there's not a lot of pictures of me growing up. And then my aunt, she was well to do, so her children have just tons of pictures, right? They have tons of pictures. And so I'm all, this video thing, not only can we capture like for our business, but we can capture for our grandchildren, our children, our life. And it's free. Like, do you know you can shoot a video and put it on YouTube, and that doesn't cost any money? And do you know you can do a podcast, invite somebody from America, from thousands of miles away, and it doesn't cost any money? It's an intention that you say, I'm going to do this, and we live in an amazing world right now. I know there's a lot of things that aren't perfect, but it's truly amazing.
I know.
And so that I could ramble on about the things that you talked about, like how to share the love. Well, you choose to share the love.
See, the word choose is a word very powerful that many people didn't use it, and they let the weather carry them. They let the weather drag the emotion. They let the people outside of them impact on how they feel, think, and act. And when you said the word choose, I really enjoy that, and I hope that our audience can find their way to choose what they want to do, what they want to lead the moment, the day, the weeks, the months, so that can create the joy in what they do, what they live, right? And come back on to the three strategy that you mentioned earlier. The first one was the inside, then the outside, and the action, right? So over the years, Mickey, share with us, how have you been, like nurture that inside strategy so that you can be perseverance, you can be really really enjoy the works disregards of whatever happened though.
Yeah, I treat it like exercise.
Oh.
And so, like, if you don't exercise and you eat a lot of fattening food, you get fat, right? But if you treat your body well and you eat healthy food and you exercise, you'll get strong, right? Same thing goes with our mind, right? If we don't feed it good stuff, right? It will get weak and fat and lazy. But if we feed it good thoughts and good intentions and good beliefs, right? And then we work it out through sharing that with others and reading books, listening to positive podcasts, finding mentors that will pour into it. That will grow our inner strategy. So I'm like every week I'm listening to something that nurtures and grows my inside beliefs and my thoughts, right? That is positive.
Wow.
Right? I don't watch a lot of news because news thrives on negative. We talked about that earlier, right? There's so much negative out there. And so like I don't listen to a lot of it. People go like, "Hey, did you hear what's happening?" And I'm all, "No, I don't watch the news because I don't really have a lot of control over it." And if a meteor comes and wipes out the world, hey, I had a good time all the way up till it hit us. And so it's like where everybody else is worrying, "Oh no," and so I'm always inputting. I just got back from New York for a conference that I did, and it was a leadership conference. And so I go to leadership conference because I want to be a better leader, right? And so that's about growing my inside beliefs. They had some outside strategies on how I grow my business, right? Tactics and marketing and business strategies, but is about everything started with your mind, right? Your beliefs, your actions. What is how are you starting your day off? Are you starting your day off with meditation, or are you starting your just going right into the actions of the day? Are you getting prepared mentally for the day? Because everything. So if somebody goes, "I'm not successful in business," it's not because of the actions that they're taking. It's because of their beliefs around the actions they're taking. Right? It's whether they believe they can go bigger, or whether they have the capacity to hold back, right, and not just rush into something. And that ability is through thought, meditation, and searching your soul first before leaping into action. And so this plays out into my video branding business. Is a lot of people just spit out their brand. They just like, "This is what I'm going to do," but they don't think about it. They don't meditate on who they choose to be in the future, right? Who do they want to be? And so we talked about what did you want to be as a child? But then you forget about who you wanted to be as a child, and then you just start doing what you think other people want you to be. And so you never think it fully through to ultimately, what do I want people to know about me and what I represent, what I stand for, right? And so it takes thought first to put that down, and that starts so the word's thought. I didn't say it takes marketing, right? I didn't say it takes studying branding. I said it takes thought first. And if we think about it and we meditate on it and we search our heart and our soul for it, not only will it help the world better, but we'll be much more happier, talking about it and telling others about it. People go, "Oh, I'm scared to talk to people about what I do because I'm afraid of what they'll think." Well, first of all, is one, you're scared and you have fear. And so that's all inner strategies. And so if we can overcome all the fear and doubt and worry that we have about ourselves, and go out and just start talking without worry about judgment, worry about what people think, and just go, "No, I'm just going to share what I love." And then people go, "Oh man, I want what they have," right? They seem very excited about what they're talking about, and how do I get that? And then I talk to people about that relationship that my son and I have, and people go, I want that I want to bring my child into my business, but I have fear that it won't go well. How do I do that? And so these are things that all start in the mind and the heart, right? And we have to search those two first. It's kind of like, do you just jump up, start doing Facebook strategies, Google strategies, right? Do you just start throwing I call them wing it strategies. Just start throwing like social media strategies. Just start doing random things, thinking that it's going to get a result. And the problem is people go, oh, I tried that, but it didn't work. I'm all, no, you tried it. You didn't do it. You didn't finish the strategy. You just were winging it and just trying different things. And that happens in everything. A lot of people, the reason why they don't succeed is because they don't follow the recipe to the T, right? And so like in our video course, we have the 5X recipe. You follow the 5X recipe, you'll come out with a great video that builds know, like, and trust. And so the nice thing about success is success leaves clues.
Clues.
Clues, yeah. Success leaves clues. And so, like when we have these conversations on podcasts and stuff, I'm talking about the clues of success that I've had, and I'm giving those clues to other people. And this could be like if you bring somebody that's a life coach, right? They're going to talk about life clues, right? You bring somebody about a marriage coach, they're going to talk about marriage clues, right? These are they're clues. They're not always perfect because every situation is different. But there's like, hey, here's a clue. Like if you talk nice to your spouse, they're gonna like you more, right? That's a clue. If you argue with them, they probably won't like you as much.
Hey, Mickey, since you and Joe are doing video, train people to do better video and then branding through video, it will be bad for our audience if we don't ask some advices from you. And then earlier you mentioned about the 5F, right? Would you want to share a little bit more about that?
The 5X strategy?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the 5X strategy is basically how to 5 times your business through using video. And then so we actually in our course we go through it, and it's how to brand your video, how to script your video, how to shoot your video. So a lot of people go, well, I don't have like this fancy camera, right? No, we all have a fancy camera. It's right here. It's 4X camera, right? This is like 4,000K, shooting video on our iPhone, and half the world has an iPhone, and the other half has probably a Samsung or something that shoots just as well. And so a lot of people say, hey, I don't have the right equipment. I don't know what to say. And so the 5X strategy takes you through how to use just whatever you have for equipment, right? And so it could be it could be a DSLR camera. And then it takes you through how to shoot that video, how to get people to know, like, can trust you and know what you do, like know what you're passionate about, right? Know what your brand is. And so we talk about branding, we talk about how to shoot your video, and then we say, now that you have this done, how do you put that everywhere, right? How do you put that on your Facebook? How do you put it on your website? How do you put it on Google, right? How do you put it in front of your clients? How do you put it in an email? And so that's the 5X recipe. And you could actually, if you go to like GreatBizMedia.com, and it's not a sales pitch, but if you want to learn more, you can go there and you could check out the course. Now, if somebody wants to like sign up for the course, they can shoot me a message, Mickey, Mickey, like Mickey Mouse, Mickey at GreatBizMedia.com, and then they could say they're interested in signing up for the for the video course. And if they do sign up, they can get a lifetime membership right now. We're given because we just started to launch it, it's actually coming out in January. So they could get the 5X course, everything that we do. They can get the lifetime of coaching on the group coaching, and all the upgrades that we're going to be offering.
Wow.
So it's pretty. We're trying to make it just irresistible offer, just so that people can get rid of the fear about, I don't have enough time, or I don't know what to do. You'll get coaching through the group coaching where we actually look at your videos, and then you'll actually get all the training and all the upgrades going on for however long we do this. So
beautiful.
Which I think I got another a good 15 years left in me, and my son has a lot more years than that under him.
Mickey, so nice of you and Joe working together and help people to build better brand through video. So for our audience who listen to the show, now you have Mickey, right? So his email is Mickey at greatbiz.com, right?
GreatBiz Media, So
okay.
GreatBiz Media, so it's GreatBizmedia.com. GreatBizmedia.com.
Alrighty.
Look, I spit that out pretty good.
Yeah, and Mickey, I really hope that one day we'll be seeing you in Vietnam, and I'm gonna travel to the States in February, and I'll definitely be in California for a couple of days. I'll swing by to have a cup of coffee with you and Joe, and we're gonna talk in person when I'm there, right?
Yeah, come on by,
Yeah,
and we'll go have a cup of coffee.
absolutely.
And it's I'm not far from Alameda, so you know the area that I'm in. I'm over in Sacramento, so.
Yeah. All right, my friend. Thanks a lot for spending your morning with our
All right.
audiences and share beautiful stories that you and Joe are doing and helping people and the entrepreneurship journey that you've been having. So beautiful. Tell your wife that during that. The four of you had a bottle of wine together, and then she asked you to reopen the bicycle store. That was wonderful decision. So to bring your childhood dream back, right? So it's amazing, Mickey. All right.
Awesome, huh? I appreciate you having me on the show. It's been a blessing, and it's been great getting to know you. And I hope that we shared some great clues with your audience that will help them.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful
All
day,
right.
and I'll see you in person one day soon. Say hello to your loved ones for me.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Cheers.
Cheers. Bye bye.